So Crown Jewel 2025 edition Perth just happened, right? It was a good old morning PLE. Well, obviously it was nighttime back there in or down there in Australia, but for us it was in the morning. It was really fun, having to wake up at or not having to, but waking up at 6 a.m. I actually woke up at 7, but waking up and the first thing that I do is turning on the good old Netflix, since I obviously don't live in the US, and watch wrestling, right? That was really fun for me. But that has nothing to do with my enjoyment of the show. Let's actually go step by step, segment by segment, match by match to see if Crown Jewel 2025 was actually a good show or not. Why don't we start? So the show started with Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight, which apparently is a stipulation that Bronson has never lost and still is undefeated. And because just as I predicted, just as I suggested, Bronson Reed walked away with the victory over Roman Reigns. A very needed victory, not just for Bronson Reed's career, but also for the division as a faction, since we also had Braun Breaker coming down to help out his buddy. And yeah, it was, you know what? This was a normal match. It wasn't anything spectacular. It was a speculation match. It was a street fight, but nothing like overly violent. They did play with like the crowd a little bit. Roman was really playing into the crowd. Hey guys, you want tables? And Bronson Reed shut that down as a good heel does. So again, if there was any unremarkable match, I would probably say it's this one. Although I was very pleasantly surprised. I'm not really surprised, but I was very pleased with the result of Bronson Reed getting the win. Again, nothing too particularly excellent. We did get pretty much what we thought we were gonna get. Braun Breaker stepping in and helping out to get the victory for the division. And after the fact, there was a couple of segments later. After the fact, we did get a little segment with Paul Heyman and the Bronze saying, "Hey, good job, Bronson Reed. Now your name is being echoed as the future of the industry alongside Braun Breaker." But again, really good segment for the storyline of the Vision, being like, "Hey guys, don't go out there and help Seth Rollins. Don't help him. He has to win on his own. If he has to prove that he's better than Cody Rhodes." And of course, we're gonna talk about that later. But this event, Crown Jewel, really showed something good in the directions of the storylines, right? Again, specifically this Vision, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker thing, and of course Seth Rollins. It really helped that storyline and pretty much the entirety of the main event scene on Raw. More on that actually right now, because as the match was ending, right, we got the little segment of the Usos coming out and essentially costing Roman the match accidentally, of course. But yeah, we did get that little segment with him and the Usos, especially Jay, which I do want to talk more about Jay later down the line. But yeah, again, whereas the previous PLE, WrestlePalooza, kind of just seemed to spin its wheels and not do much of anything, this one here at Crown Jewel, we actually got some progress, not just on fun matches, but also on characters, a clear direction or a clearer direction for the storylines, and some good moments that actually exploit the strengths of these characters, such as, again, as I mentioned, the Usos coming down and accidentally costing Roman the match. I thought it was really good. Again, the match itself was kind of whatever. It was fun, nothing too spectacular, but really good for characters and good for the storylines that are happening, especially on Monday Night Raw. Next, we had the women's crown jewel match of Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton. And again, as I predicted and suggested, we got Stephanie Vaquer with the win. The clean win, nonetheless. Exactly. No interference. That one actually did surprise me. No interference from Jade. No interference from Nia Jax. It was just two wrestlers going at it, and Stephanie Vaquer won clean as a crystal, clean as a whistle. Like, it was great. This was exactly what Stephanie needed to really kick her title reign into full gear. Again, she just won the title, but she doesn't really have anything going on Raw. So a good victory over the other champion, really putting her on this really pedestal that she deserves to be in. And honestly, this is kind of what Tiffany needed. They did mention a lot that she has been undefeated for the entirety of 2025. It's been getting kind of boring. It's been getting kind of tedious. I have said before in other videos, I am kind of done with Tiffany as champion. I'm done with her being the top babyface, right? I don't I don't even think being a babyface suits her, but yeah, I think this was the perfect scenario for both of these contestants. The match itself wasn't that great. Obviously, we just came off a really good match of Stephanie versus Io Sky, but these are top level talents. Not that Tiffany isn't really good, it just, and maybe it was just the length. It wasn't a very long match either. Probably another 5 minutes. They could have cooked something a little bit, more complex and more, exciting. But the match itself was really good. It was a fun match. It was a serviceable match, and again, the perfect winner in Stephanie Vaquero beating Tiffany clean to become the second Crown Jewel Women's Champion. All good for me. Next, we had one of the most anticipated matches of the year, I would have to say, which was, of course, John Cena versus AJ Styles one final time. Now, here's the thing, this is, of course, John Cena's retirement tour, right? It's nearing the end. We only have 4 dates left, but this is also the start of AJ Styles' retirement tour. He has confirmed, Michael Cole confirmed it on commentary, AJ Styles will retire on 2026. So we only have about 1 year more of AJ Styles. And what a way to kick off his retirement run with an amazing, amazing match against John Cena. Now, this wasn't the kind of match that these guys used to have 2016, 2017. This was more of a Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes style match, Cody Rhodes 2 style match that John Cena has been having these past few months. Again, this was more of a homage to their careers. AJ Styles came down in this really weird, to me, it's weird looking because I never saw him back then in this era. But this, his old TNA outfit, the short trunks, the vest, I just thought he looked weird with the long hair. In that outfit, but it was just a call out, a call out to his back in the day TNA outfit and how he would look back then. And throughout the match, it was just reference after reference after reference, and it wasn't bad. It didn't feel fan servicey. It didn't feel cheap. It felt really good. Just a love letter to these two guys' just extensive career. Of course, we got a skull crushing finale, an RKO, a Walls of Jericho. John Cena even tried to hit a 619 because the crowd asked him to do so. What else did he hit? He hit, of course, a choke slam, and of course, what finished the match for him and got him the deserved win was a tombstone pile driver, followed by an attitude adjustment. So yeah, this was amazing. And AJ Styles didn't fall back either. He hit him with, I think, hit him with a switch in music. That was a big one, right? I forget what the name of the finisher was called, but I know he hit him with something of like Christopher Daniels, and he hit him with a coquina clutch, right, in reference to Samoa Joe. So yeah, it was just an amazing, amazing match. Really fun, really entertaining. Uh, Again, if we put him side by side to their old matches, 2016, 2017, probably not as good as like the very best of them. I still think the best match that these two guys had was SummerSlam 2016, but this was really good. I really was super satisfied and thankful for this match at this point in Cena's career and at this point in AJ Swansong as well. So yeah, nothing else to say here. Excellent match. Had a lot of fun. I am happy about this. What else? Then, of course, we had probably the co-main event. It definitely felt like the co-main event, at least for the live crowd, which was a tag match of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus the Kabuki Warriors. Now, I have said this before in the past. I think this is the most captivating storyline happening on Raw right now. And as I said in my predictions, nothing really special happened here. It was just an exhibition, like tag team match. There was no big turns. Kyrie didn't turn on Asuka. Io didn't turn on Rhea. It was just these two good, really, really popular girls in Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus the Kabuki Warriors. Which, yeah, it was a fun match. They really played to the crowd really well. A lot of good character moments specifically. Nothing super particularly exciting in terms of big character turns or story plots, right? Or plot points. None of that. It was just a really fun match, and it's obvious that the story is not done, right? We're still heading to a Oscar versus Io match at some point. So yeah, gotta look forward to that. But it was all in all pretty good match. And finally, the main event, the most anticipated main event in quite a few while was, got a little while, was Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes for the Crown Jewel Championship, the second edition. And this was a fun match. It started out a little bit slow for my taste, but it got better as it went along. And if anything, and just as I mentioned at the start of the video, this really played to the story going on Monday Night Raw between Seth Rollins and Division, right? This is probably the biggest moment this faction has seen since their debut. They got this big bombastic debut after Mania. Then Bronson Reed came out, but then kind of nothing. Then he won the title, then kind of nothing. And now this night at Crown Jewel, Bronson Reed gets the win over Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins finally beats his demons, or one of them at least, and beats Cody Rhodes without any help, or without the help of a person, right? Of course, he wasn't necessarily a clean win, but he did get the job done. He finally beat Cody Rhodes in a high profile match, and it was really good. Again, the match went, it got better and better as it went along. They did some crazy moves. Seth Rollins did this diving coast to coast headbutt, which I have never seen. He did a Spanish fly, which I don't think I've ever seen Seth Rollins do a Spanish fly. So that was weird. Cody hit a third, top rope crossroads, which how was it? How has that never been a finisher before? Or at least I have never seen that being used as a finisher before. But Seth kicked out, so probably because of that. Yeah, it was just a fun match. They hit each other with really strong finishers, really strong moves. And yeah, the right winner, the correct winner, got out of this match with the W. That was Seth Rollins, the winner of the Crown Jewel Championship for the second edition, of course. So yeah, all in all, this entire PLE Crown Jewel, everything that happened was the correct decision, the correct winner, the correct booking, the correct character points. Nothing super spectacular, but far from where we were at WrestlePalooza. This should have been the debut at ESPN. At least it was a much better show than WrestlePalooza. Personally, I would have given WrestlePalooza like a C minus, right? Maybe a D. I don't know. C minus probably. This one was more of a B, maybe B plus. I don't know. This one was way better, and I am happy that the storylines are following a certain direction now that is clear and that is exciting, which we haven't had excitement in a while. We got that amazing AJ Cena match, and yeah, again, maybe this didn't turn around the perception of WWE of it being boring and it not being good, but at least for this day, this morning, I guess, it was really good. It was what it should have been. It was great. And yeah, I am excited to see what comes next, which I guess is, I think there's a Saturday night's main event. Maybe I'm wrong. But definitely after that would be War Games, which, let's see what happens then. But in the meantime, guys, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys thought of Crown Jewel 2025 Perth. And Please have a good one.